Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rachel and I make travel vlogs and tip videos here on YouTube. Last spring I had an amazing 3-week train trip through Italy, so I decided I might as well make a little tip video for anyone who's planning on using the trains in Italy. I'm far from an expert on Italy trains, so this video isn't going to be going super in-depth about like the different types of trains, tickets, passes, that kind of thing. Instead, I'm going to do this video as a simple step-by-step walkthrough for anyone who has travel or social anxiety, who wants to know like exactly what to expect from the experience of riding trains in Italy. So I am going to talk about like buying tickets, where you can buy tickets, and then I'm going to go through like the boarding process and what you can expect from riding a train in Italy so that you can have a stress-free and easy trip. Before I get into the walkthrough, let's talk about some reasons why you would want to travel by train in Italy. First of all, it is super convenient. All major cities and most smaller towns are connected by railways, so it is a super fast and easy way to travel from city to city. Second, traveling by train is super affordable and perfect for anyone on a budget. My tickets cost anywhere from €4 to €21, depending on the distance and the cities involved. So if you're on a budget like I am, traveling by train is the perfect way to get around. And 3, traveling by train is way better than having to rent a car because that's obviously more expensive. And also finding and paying for parking in Italy can be difficult. Also in some of the smaller towns, you're not allowed to drive in the historic city center and you can actually get a fee if you drive in these areas. So going by train is so much easier. You don't have to deal with parking or renting a car. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the step-by-step walkthrough of a train journey in Italy. First of all, you're gonna have to buy a ticket, obviously. I suggest buying a ticket at least a couple of days in advance, just so you have it done and ready and you don't have to deal with that on the day of your journey. You can buy your ticket directly through Trenitalia, and there's either a website or an app you can use. Personally, I used Trainline to buy my tickets, and I also have an affiliate link, which I will put in the description of this video if you're planning on buying tickets anytime soon. And Trainline can be used in multiple countries throughout Europe. I originally used it when I went to France, so I knew that it was easy and convenient, so that's why I continued to use it when I traveled to Italy. It is easy to use and the prices are comparable to buying directly through Trenitalia. Whether you buy through Trenitalia or Trainline, the website and the process of buying the tickets looks very similar. I'll go ahead and show the website for Trainline here on the screen and kind of walk you through the process of buying a ticket. First, you'll put in the train stations you want to travel between, and then the date you want to travel and the approximate time you want to leave. Then the search results will come up showing you all the different times that you can leave, and prices will vary depending on when you travel. I found that usually earlier in the day and then later in the afternoon were the cheaper prices, but choose whatever is convenient for you and works for your budget. You can also buy your tickets in person at the train station by either going up to the counter and talking to a person or using one of the vending machines, which are easy to use and have multiple language options. You can also buy a rail pass, but you'll have to see if it's worth it because they can be kind of expensive and you have to do a certain amount of journeys within a certain amount of time. Personally, even though I did a lot of train travel during those 3 weeks I was in Italy, it was cheaper for me to just buy the individual tickets rather than doing a pass. Step 2, you're going to have to validate your ticket if you have a paper ticket. This is really important to do before you board the train. There will be a machine before you get on board where you can just put your ticket in and it'll stamp the date for you. With an electronic ticket, most likely you won't have to validate, although sometimes you do. So just check beforehand. You'll get an email saying you need to validate and you'll just go through that up to 24 hours before your train is scheduled to leave. I suggest arriving at the train station about 15 to 20 minutes before your scheduled departure time. This will give you a chance to walk through the station and find your platform. If you're in a bigger city, the stations are obviously bigger and more crowded. There's way more things going on, so you're going to want to arrive a little bit earlier to the bigger stations especially, just so you can make your way through the crowds and figure out where you're going. Once you arrive at the station, you'll want to find the departures board, which will show a list of all the scheduled trains. You'll want to know the number for your train, the last stop on the route, and the time of your departure. Look at the board and you'll be able to find it pretty easily. The platform might not be up yet. Sometimes it doesn't pop up there until just a few minutes before the train is scheduled to leave, just because they don't know what platform it's going to be at until the train starts to arrive. So don't worry if the train platform isn't on there yet. Once the platform pops up, you can walk over there. You may or may not have to get your ticket scanned. It depends on the station. If you're at a bigger station, you usually have to have it scanned before you can go over to the boarding area. At a smaller station, you can just walk right up to the platform. Once the train is there and you're ready to board, you'll have to look for your class carriage. I always traveled in second class because it was cheaper. A lot of trains also have first class as an option. You may or may not have an assigned seat. In most of my cases, I didn't have an assigned seat. I think there was only 2 times that I had an assigned seat. So you'll just find that specific carriage number and your seat number. Otherwise, you can sit anywhere within your class. Once you board, you'll have to stow your luggage either in one of the racks right next to the door or in the overhead rack compartment, which is over all of the seats. Be respectful of fellow passengers and don't put things in seats that you don't need. Try to keep everything consolidated to one area so you aren't taking up space where other people can sit. Make sure you keep your paper ticket or have it on your phone ready to be scanned when somebody walks by to check tickets. When I was traveling by train, someone didn't always go by, but if they do, you want to have it ready. Okay, and that's it. You're boarded, you're seated, you're ready to go. Trains in Italy can be a little bit late, so it might not leave exactly on time or it might not arrive exactly on time either. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're on a really tight schedule. Once the train gets rolling, it's time to just sit back and relax. I always like to listen to an audiobook while I travel. You can also journal, talk to people if you're traveling not solo like I usually do, and just enjoy the ride, look out the window and watch all the beautiful scenery of Italy go by. The seats on the train are fairly comfortable and they do recline slightly. Some of the seats might have a table, there's usually an outlet for you to use, and there is a restroom on board the trains too. The restrooms on board are fairly simple and they're located near the entry to the train. Make sure you bring along tissues and hand sanitizer with you just in case the toilet paper or the soap is out, but there will be a sink with running water. Most of the carriages on the train will have a screen where you can see the upcoming stops rolling through. I always like to sit somewhere where I can easily see this screen and just be aware that my stop is approaching. Once you know you're pulling into your stop, make sure you gather all your belongings and don't leave anything charging in the outlet like I did one time, and I lost my battery and camera charger, which was a whole ordeal. Definitely do not do that. Gather all your stuff and your trash and you can disembark when you get to your station. I suggest getting to the door before you come to a complete stop just so you're ready to get off the train as soon as you stop and you don't have to hold up people who are boarding. And there you go, that's train travel in Italy. You have arrived at your stop. Maybe you have to transfer trains to get to your final destination and you'll just do the process all over again, but hopefully you can find a direct train. Most major cities have a direct train so you don't have to transfer, which is really great. If you have any questions about train travel in Italy, let me know in the comments. I know this wasn't a super thorough video that covered every single aspect. If you do want a video that kind of goes more in depth about train travel in Italy, I'll link one up here by the channel Happy to Wander, which has a lot of really good information for you, and it's a much longer video that goes more in depth. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more tip videos for traveling in Italy and elsewhere in Europe and the world in general. I'll see you later. Bye. You can buy your ticket directly through Trenitalia, which is the official. Let me just start over because now I don't know where I was. I don't even know what I'm saying. That was pretty good. Okay.